Yeah, I'm usually in a small room with carpet.
All right. So, welcome to the Sports Bag Bros podcast. As you can see, Travis not here, but we have our man Scott, friend of the program, who joins us once in a while. Welcome, Scott. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having
Um,
me.
you're you're the guest, so I'll let you kick it off with whatever you have on your mind.
Basketball, 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 baby. All the time, everywhere. College tournaments are going on. The tournaments, their conference tournaments are going on. Obviously, the NBA is still kicking around. You know, the NFL is making a little free agent noise like they
Right.
always do, hogging up the airways when this is prime basketball season.
Right.
March Madness is upon us. So, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Hoop.
Yeah, I'm excited. Even though college basketball isn't what it used to be, I still love March Madness, and I take Thursdays and Fridays off, and so do a bunch of my friends, and we get together. So I can't wait for next week.
Yeah, well, the big news today is that Duke, a couple guys went down at Duke. Cooper Flag, ankle is messed up. Don't know how bad it is. And then the second one was, I think his name is Brown. Where are my notes? Brown, who's supposedly a defensive specialist. Let me see if I've got his name here. Malik Brown. So Malik Brown, left arm injury. Not sure how bad he's doing, but Duke beat Georgia Tech, and Duke beat Georgia Tech. Chapel Hill beat Wake Forest. So that's the next matchup. You know, the two blue bloods, Duke and
Right,
Chapel Hill, and it looks like Duke's going to be down two players, including maybe the best player in the country.
right. In case you don't know, Chapel Hill is actually North Carolina. That's who Scott's referring
Oh
to.
yeah, UNC. Yeah.
But do you know the extent of the injury? I saw a little bit, but I didn't really get to dig into it.
It looked bad, and on the radio they were saying he was in a wheelchair. But I saw, he had guys on, both sides of him stepping him out, so his injured ankle wasn't hitting anything. Which, I mean, if I've got Cooper Flag, I would have taken the wheelchair out to the court and put him in there. So, I think they're taking every precaution,
Right,
and ankles are just they're just tricky, and there's such a key
right,
part. If you've got any speed in your game at all, your ankles have to be locked in.
right. Yeah, I played a lot of basketball growing up, and I remember ankle injuries. Luckily, I never suffered a high ankle sprain, but nonetheless, ankle sprains they can be painful and put you out of commission for a few days.
Yeah. Yeah. So it could just be a few days. I mean, I remember one of the time I was just playing like, down at the park, and I came down one time and landed on my ankle really funky, looking about like the way his ankle did. And it just scared the hell out of me. And I just sat out for like a play or two. And then I was like, oh, I'm good to go. That really didn't injure anything, but that was like I was closer to Cooper Flag's age than the age
Uh-huh.
I am now.
Yeah. I remember one ankle sprain I had. I was playing with my dad and uncles and stuff, and they told me, "Man, tough it out." Like there was no one else who could take my place,
Rub
so
some dirt in it.
they made me keep playing. I think I was like 12 at the time. So from that time on, whenever I suffered a sprained ankle, like I just try to tough it out. Um, some days were better than others, obviously, but
I was playing one on one with a buddy of mine, and he was just getting to the point where he was better than me and taller than me, and he was like still growing and stuff. But I still had that competitive spirit. So I think we were playing like 21 or whatever, and he just stuffed me so hard. I'm going up for the shot, and the ball he just came down, and it crammed down my pinky. But I was like, well, that's my pinky. I don't need my pinky. And so I was like, what? I lost. I was like, let's play another one, and I lost again. Found out later, pinky was broken. So luckily, that's the only broken bone I've had in my life. But,
well, I suffered a couple of cuts, but no broken bones, luckily.
yeah, I mean, it was just a pinky, but they put this whole cast on it, so they made a big deal out of it.
A whole cast? Wow.
Well, it was, I had like maybe one or two because I was like, typing in my work. So I had like, I think one or two fingers on my right hand that I could.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, I know you're a Gators fan, right?
Yes.
Other than the Gators, are you keeping an eye on any team in the tournament?
Yes. Auburn. I'm keeping an eye on Auburn, and I'm trying to think of who the other teams that worry me. The Gators are actually, their first game is going to be tomorrow, and they're going to face the winner of Missouri and Mississippi State. Missouri and Mississippi State play at 7:00 tonight, so the Gators play the winner. The Gators beat Mississippi during the regular season. They lost to Missouri. So I'm a little concerned about Missouri. I'm not scared. I mean, the Gators should be able to beat them. They only lost to them by a point. The Gators have everyone healthy, and they're not playing today. So they should be able to beat them. But this team, it'll take some games off. I mean, entire games. Like when they played Georgia just a couple of weeks ago, they just played like dogs. The second time they played against Tennessee, they couldn't hit a shot to save their lives. So, I mean, this team has the potential to win it all, especially, I think, if Cooper Flagg is not 100%. So they could win it all. They've got a little depth. I think they've got an outstanding coach. They beat Auburn. They've, I think they can beat anyone in the SEC. And Duke concerns me a little bit, but they're a good team.
Right. Well, this is not the time of year to take games off, take games lightly. But, sometimes when you're dealing with 19, 20-year-olds, they're not always going to be focused, during the long haul of the season. As far as me, I'm an NC State fan, and to go from making the Final Four last year to not even making your conference tournament this year, that's pretty sad. And that's why their coach got fired. Hopefully they get a respectable coach. The names I've been seeing, I don't know, like they're looking at a guy from McNeese, a guy from this college. I'm like, if you're ever going to compete with Duke and Carolina, you need a stud coach to come in there and turn the program around. That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, North Carolina basketball is no joke. Always has been great.
So you got to go for the top shelf coaches. You can't come in with a guy who did it at a small school but doesn't have a strong track record, who you hope can take the next step. I mean, not when you got big dogs, 15 miles that way and 10 miles the other way surrounding you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough environment up there. And I would imagine high school kids are probably the same. Back when I would play pickup ball, whenever I'd run across a hotshot high school kid, there was only one answer. I would say, where are you planning on playing college ball? And they would just say the state, North Carolina. And I was like, I got it. I was like, I don't know if they're that good, but they were focused on the state. So they've always had a great basketball tradition.
Yeah, so I also became a Purdue fan just because I hated Bobby Knight and IU so much. Like I said this on the show a couple of weeks ago. I told Trav, when I was little, I liked Indiana, but then I saw him throwing the chairs and he throwing tantrums, and like it just rubbed me the wrong way. Even as a kid, I'm like, I cannot be a fan of this guy. So from that point on, they were playing Purdue, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just start cheering for Purdue. So my issue with Purdue is they rarely have strong guards. A lot of people talk about Braden Smith. He has this many assists. He does that, but, he seems to struggle in the tournament. Last year, you and me, we can dump it into Edey. He's 7'4", but
Zach, yeah.
What's he going to do this year when you don't have that big man you can just throw it into all the time?
Right. Yeah, and, Florida has always had great guards. They've really been blessed that way, and a lot of it came from Billy Donovan. He would, draft lots of guys in his own image. Where Florida got fortunate was, when they got Horford and Noah. They actually got some big men because Donovan wasn't great about recruiting big men. big men. He got Patrick Young out of here, who was really good, and he got Noah and Horford were outstanding. Obviously, Horford's still playing for the Celtics in the league, but he really focused on guards, and even post Donovan, there's really been a great focus on guards to the point where the guards are really the strength of this year's team. We've got Walter Clayton, and then we've got two other guys who are seniors. One is, I think it's Elijah Martin we got from FAU. He's good. And then we've got, we've got another good one. But what people were discounting at the beginning of the year was how good their big men are. So we've got this guy, Condon, who's from Australia. He's outstanding. He can shoot it, from anywhere. And he's great, rebounding, getting in there. We've got Thomas Houck, who's from Pennsylvania, like 6'10", 6'11" guy who, can go both ways, just outstanding player. And then we've got Micah Hanlockton, who came back in the middle of the year. And I think he came back because he believed this team could win it all. He's more of a defensive player. He was kind of out of shape. He's getting back in shape. But it gives them some depth. I mean, Hanlockton's not even a starter. They got our guy Ruben Chinaloo, who starts at center, and he's kind of like Hanlockton. Not a lot of offensive upside, but tons of rebounding and defense. So, they just let me go.
So I think we'll probably get into NCAA more on Monday. Let's get to the NBA because I think that's the title of this show, NBA and more. Anyway. So what did you think about LeBron confronting Stephen A. the other day?
I didn't really I don't pay attention to those guys very much. I try not to. But, Stephen A. is obnoxious and LeBron's kind of an imperious guy. So, I guess it was the two egos ran into one another. And, that happened. I guess I was paying more attention to when the Celtics played the Lakers because the Celtics won, even though, the Lakers now have Luka, and then LeBron got injured after that. So what was the brouhaha about?
I don't know, but I just think he's probably off his cycle, so he needs a couple of weeks off.
Yeah. And let's say this about that. I think perception may be out there that LeBron has always been this stellar athlete with this $1 million regimens and coaches. Remember, though, when he came into the league, and it was when he was playing for Miami during the playoffs one time, his body kind of locked up. They said he had a potassium deficit or something. And so, I think physically he was in great shape, but he, maybe the nutrition wasn't right or anything like that. So it was really after that incident where he's, buckled down and made himself into a guy who's been able to last as long as he has.
Well, here's the thing, Chael Sonnen, he says they used the same guy. And then there was an investigation to somebody on LeBron's team and LeBron's wife. They were involved. So you can't tell me that his wife's involved, someone on his team's involved, but he's going to stay out of it. I just don't buy it. Yeah. Father Time's undefeated, and he seems to be going toe-to-toe with Father Time.
Yeah, he does. In fact, this is, I don't know, you think this is last year? I would imagine so.
I don't know.
I would, maybe he could be like a player coach type next year, kind of like
I don't know what his motivation is, but getting Luka, the team's been playing better. I don't think they'll make the finals. I'm not sure.
Let's say this: they've been good for each other, right? Because the hope was you get Luka's ability and you pair it with LeBron's discipline. It seems to be working well.
Right. So I'm not sure they'll get to the conference finals, but if let's say they do get to the finals and they lose to the Celtics, maybe him getting so close, he'll think if we just add a piece here, add a piece there, I can win another one.
Right, which he's been doing since he got there, right? They've been throwing guys overboard left and right. Let's try this mix. Let's try that.
Yeah, I think their biggest issue is going to be the lack of a big man. I know they beat Denver a couple of weeks ago, but that's not playoff Denver. That's not playoff Jokic.
Yeah.
When you go against Joker in the playoffs, you need somebody. You're not going to stop him, but at least you have to make him play honest on defense, make him work on defense,
Right. Make
and
him
they
throw
don't
a
have
pass
anybody.
instead of scoring every time down.
Right, and they don't have anybody to, at least AD. Jokic would score 35, get 16 rebounds, and drop 9 assists. But at least AD would have 28, 15, would make almost balance it out. I don't know if they have that guy. Well, I don't think they have that guy.
Right. Yeah, and I guess the question could be asked, do the Celtics have that guy? And I mean, they've got Horford, but he doesn't start. And then they've got Porzingis, who is injured a lot. And they got rid of Robert Williams, the Time Lord, a few years ago. They've got this guy, I think it's Luke Cornett, decent defensive guy, almost no offensive game. But I watched the Celtics. By the way, before we leave the West, I'll say in the West, I don't see Golden State or the Lakers getting past Oklahoma. Oklahoma's really good, and they've got,
I watched them yesterday. I've kind of been dismissive just because they're so young, but man, they look good on the court last night against the Celtics.
Do you know who Jalen Williams is now?
Oh yeah.
There's two of them. It's the one without the Y in his name that's really good.
But they withstood the Celtics. I'm trying to think of the word. Celtics were down and they stormed back, and they withstood that. They extended the lead, and they won pretty handily last night.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. Is this Celtics team? Obviously, they won it all last year, but watching that game made me really question this coach. Now, he obviously, they won the finals last year with him. But, before that, they had Udoka, Ime Udoka, and he lost his job for a bunch of baloney reasons. And so he's down in Houston now, where did those guys come from? They're suddenly a contender with him down there. So I don't think this coach is as good. And so the Celtics really, and last year, Jaylen Brown really stepped up in the finals because unfortunately, Jason Tatum tends to melt down in the playoffs, and he sort of did last year, but it didn't matter because Jaylen Brown played so well. But I'm deeply skeptical of Jaylen Brown. I think he's terribly inconsistent, and so they're going to need a performance from someone like that this year, I think, to complement Tatum. Maybe it's Porzingis, if he can stay healthy. Right. I love their kind of guard wings. You've got Derek White, and then you've got Drew Holiday. Those guys, as long as they're healthy, man, they're criminally underrated. So good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a big Drew Holiday fan. He makes a positive impact on any team he's on.
And so we got him from Milwaukee, which was great. I remember him in New Orleans.
Yeah,
we got him.
When that trade went down, I'm like, why is Milwaukee getting rid of Holiday? Like, that's not a guy I would ever want to get rid of. He may not be the best player on the team, but he's a dog. He's pretty much the glue of the defense. He's never going to back down. And he contributes offensively. That guy's just a winner.
Yeah. Yeah, he's kind of indispensable. When we got him from Milwaukee, I didn't recognize it at the time because we had somebody else I liked too. But yeah, he and Derek White and obviously Porzingis have really catapulted this team to where
he needs to get healthy.
White is like, for a guy who's not that big, amazing on defense, great shooter. Like I said, underrated. Never seems, both he and Holiday, they never get too high or too low. Like my buddy complains that Tatum is always too mellow. And I'm like, that's kind of his style. But
yeah, it's hard. People want players to exhibit certain things, but if that's not that person's personality, you can't hold it against them. They're just not that way.
Right.
But, I think it doesn't mean Tatum doesn't care.
Right. I think what my buddy gets bent out of shape is because he's so mellow, and sometimes he plays like crap, like in the finals. So he puts those two together, and I'm like, I don't think that's part of it. That's he's just that guy. He's like the golfer who's cool as ice when putting. He's the airline pilot who, when he's going down, can say, "Ladies and gentlemen, just be chill."
See, I thought with everything that happened,
like a quarterback.
I thought with everything that happened in the Olympics, him not getting playing time and all of that, him having issues with Kerr, I thought he was going to be on a mission this season. And he came out opening night. Oh, Trav's joining us.
Is he in the Middle East?
Traveling. Trav.
Oh, he's got that neck pillow on. Are you going into surgery, buddy?
You look like Andre, man, in the shadows.
Wait up. Hold on.
You going into surgery, buddy? Is that a surgery?
Hold on 1 second.
Neck piece?
Hey, see if you can fix the screen, Trav.
Sounds like he's in outer space.
There's something, yeah.
He's probably up in the air. Yeah, it looks like a plane in the background. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah, I saw the bubble pop up. I'm like, who's just crashing?
I know. I thought it was.
What's up? What's up, man?
What's going on?
Trav?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you just fine.
I'm using Starlink right now. I'm flying over Africa.
Thank you, Elon.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like NASA.
So I don't know what's going on right now. I just popped in.
We're
NBA,
just
Celtics.
we're just talking
baby.
NBA, Celtics, Jason Tatum. Scott has a friend who thinks he's not giving his all. He doesn't show enough emotion.
Jason Tatum?
Yeah, but I was saying I thought he was going to be on a mission this year because he got this at the Olympics. And opening night, he came out. It looked like he was on a mission, but he hasn't been playing that way all season.
No, but he's been coming in and out every now and then when he needs to step up. He's done it, but the Celtics haven't had to do it too much lately because they've been so far ahead of everybody else anyway.
Right, until they ran to Oklahoma.
Or if they run into Cleveland with any consistency.
Right.
Hey, Trav, how do I fix the screen so we're all on? Because right now it's all rectangular. Can't see us all.
Let me see. Go to the that bottom part and get the one that's click this. I'll take the second one over.
The second one?
Second one to the left. Yeah.
Second from the left or the right?
Second one from the left.
All right, there we go.
And then you get rid of the facade. If you want to do that.
You're still in the dark, bro.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm in the plane, so they got the light off.
I feel like Darth Vader's theme music should be playing or something.
Dark Vader.
So are you flying over Libya?
Yeah, no, he was over Casablanca a little while ago.
Oh, Morocco, nice.
Yeah. So, man, this is 12.5-hour flight, this one here, just to get over to Qatar.
Are you disturbing the passengers?
Oh, the way they disturb me so far, get up and taking pisses all day, yeah.
Let them have it, brother. No mercy.
Bro, I got the aisle seat, man, and dudes is drinking. I already know what's going to happen. Shoot, getting up and pissing every 5 minutes.
Wow.
That would be me. You'd be complaining about if I was there.
But they were drinking water. You'd be drinking some beer.
Whatever I was drinking, I'd be hitting the head for sure.
So, yeah, we were just talking NBA. We talked about the Lakers, the trade. I don't think they're going to make the finals nor the conference finals. We're talking about the Celtics. They lost to OKC yesterday, who looked really good. I might have to think harder about them because I've kind of been dismissive because of their youth.
Yeah, you know what? But it's almost like the old OKC team they had when they had Russ and Durant. You know, the same thing. Those guys were playing out of their minds, but they were just too young to get over the hump. So I think that might be a lot of the same. And I also remember back when Houston had that ridiculously long winning streak, and it meant nothing when the damn playoffs came.
Yeah, plus who expected the Mavericks to go to the finals last year?
Oh, yeah, that's true too. That was a complete anomaly where everything just clipped, and because of the matchups, we were talking last year about all the matchups, how they just had the perfect matchup until when it ran into a buzzsaw.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's say this too: Memphis definitely outperforming what people thought of them.
Were people really thinking that way, or was it all contingent on how John came back from OBS? Because they still have the talent, even though they got rid of some players. But I think that it's not a surprise that they're playing well because John's going to be the biggest reason why.
Yeah, but some people who used to be fans of Ja were down on him. I don't know if
I'm
you know
still down on
what I'm talking about.
I still like Ja as a basketball player, man. All that nonsense, man. Like when I was rocking him since college, that's over, man. Forget about it.
Yeah.
He just embarrassed.
Desmond Bain, he's on my fantasy team since I know you guys wanted to know. Been kicking ass.
Well, yeah, but Desmond Bain was doing the same thing when Ja was injured all that time, and then they were winning. Then everybody thought that when he came back, they could boo because they started losing when he came back. And then it turns out that they were playing so well for that short period of time, so everybody's stats was up. It's just that they aren't starting enough plays to keep those stats up. And then when the reality hit after the long term, they started losing again because they could no longer hit 47% from three. They went back to 31%.
Hey, so if we're thinking about the West, how about, Golden State now with Jimmy Butler, they're making a little noise.
Well, Jimmy,
I think they're going to have the same problems as the Lakers. They don't have a big man.
Right.
We've been saying that for a long time already. That the big man when it came to Golden State. I don't know what they don't see that it seems so obvious that we see. I guess they're too smart for themselves, or dumb Levy, as Bryce calls him, just isn't getting it right.
Are Seth and Draymond taking up all the money? And I guess Butler now too.
Probably. I know they got max contracts.
Yeah, but with the revenue sharing in the NBA, can that really happen? I mean
they've been paying the luxury tax for years.
That's what I'm saying. They're like the Yankees. They're like the Yankees and Dodgers. Just pay the luxury tax and hope you hit them.
All right, so I'm thinking Oklahoma in the West. LA will make some noise. I don't see them getting past Memphis or Denver or Oklahoma.
You said who?
I don't see the Lakers getting past Oklahoma, Memphis, or the other team I mentioned.
Denver.
Any team that has depth is going to give the Lakers a problem because the Lakers just have that front five. That's it. Right. Or front four, really. That's it. So any team with depth, and does Memphis really have depth like that? Or they're a lot like the Lakers, just a front five.
Another thing to consider with the Lakers, LeBron being 40 and Luka basically never wanted to play defense, they're gonna be targets in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll probably go out a few. They might last like one more round than Golden State if Golden State even makes it.
And it's not even like Luka could change his mind and decide to play defense. He just can't play defense. He just physically can't do it, especially at a high level when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think even if he tried to, that's going to hurt him on the offensive end because he's not used to going hard on defense.
Nope. Yeah, exactly. And he's perpetually out of shape anyway. He'll be done by halftime in terms of exerting all the energy. And he will be ineffective offensive by then. So I saw your title and you talked about that Trek nonsense with that woman, that girl went upside the other girl's head with a baton, and she was lying up a sense like we didn't see it.
Yeah, I want to bring that up too. That's in the title.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know whether you brought it up or not.
Yeah. So first of all, that's 100%.
Cat fights in the NBA?
No, the high school track in Virginia.
The girl who hit the other girl with the baton twice.
Gun.
So I don't know if you guys have seen, but she's been charged. And
good.
She has a video saying, that I would never do that intentionally. The baton got stuck in her hair. And
Stop
she's crying. she's saying I'm getting death threats and you guys aren't considering my feelings. Well, this is how I feel about your feelings. Right here. Fuck your feelings. You
Tell,
did that on purpose.
She
tell
hit
she that
somebody
you
else with a baton. She's like, "How
Right.
about my feelings?"
And she's the victim, right? Get out of
Right.
here, man.
you let her know she ain't too young to get it either. She not too young to get in the crosshairs.
Chris.
Man,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm not advocating for her to go to prison. You know, she's a young girl. She can learn from this, and going to prison would probably ruin her life. But it's good that they are at least investigating and charging her.
yeah, and rightfully so. I'm learning a time to learn about it, but her parents are enablers. I understand they're trying to get her back, but when it's so blatantly obvious she was in the wrong, how the hell are they going to continue to defend that nonsense? Everyone who's watched it saw it, and she's the only one with a story that's different, and now her parents follow her because of that.
She
And
claimed she was off balance. That's why her arm was. Yeah,
every excuse in the book, and it never happened before, but it happens with her.
Well,
She was losing.
I hate to sink the ratings by moving away from cat fights, but we haven't talked about the East in the NBA yet.
Why? Because the Celtics happen to be the team in the East, and you want to talk about them?
Try to behave. I was going to ask you who saw the Knicks being this good.
I know. I thought the
the
Knicks would
Knicks were
be.
good last year.
Yeah, exactly. I just wanted to
Yeah,
see
but
how long
they got rid of Randall and they got DiVincenzo, right?
they got rid of DiVincenzo. I wanted DiVincenzo to stay, but with the Knicks, last year they played well, and it was up to Brunson and whether he could stay healthy or not. They got rid of Randall, but I think Mike Greenberg said a couple of years ago that Randall was never a superstar player. He just happened to be what the Knicks needed for that time. And if you brought in two other players that were considered top free agents, he would be the number 3 guy. And look, when Brunson came, he was the number 2 guy. So that's probably
Yeah,
true
and
with talent.
they brought in Carl Anthony Towns.
Right.
Exactly. So if Carl Anthony Towns and Brunson's there, Mike Greenberg would be completely right. He would have been the third option.
Yeah.
And I think Cat makes things easier for those other guys. If you remember last year's playoffs, you had all these guards and small forwards pounding the glass and like making these outstanding plays. And now with Cat, they don't have to fight as hard for all those rebounds. Cats are naturally bigger, going to get rebounds.
Yeah.
Yep, and he doesn't mind doing the dirty work because that's what he's made for anyway. So it was a good deal for the Knicks. I think a good deal for everybody. I still wish the Knicks had DiVincenzo, just like I wish they still had Emmanuel Quickly. But I guess they know what they're doing.
Wish they had Patrick Ewing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. That's the truth too.
Bill Bradley. Oh, I got it.
But hey, the way it turns out, that's what it is. But the Knicks are all, I wouldn't say completely elite because the Celtics are on another level and it looks like they may represent you don't know what the hell you're getting from Milwaukee anymore. So I don't know. Milwaukee's like on and off. Philadelphia's not even a factor.
I think in the series, the only teams that really can give the Celtics problems are maybe the Cavs and the Pacers.
The Pacers is a bit surprising to me. But yeah,
I forgot about the Cavs. Oh my God. Because the Cavs and the Celtics seem like they pretty much left everybody else behind. And I think the Cavs can, in a 7-game series, beat the Celtics. That's the only team in the East that can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year, like Tyrese Halliburton got hot. And, if he's one of those players, he can carry a team.
Oh, look at that 4-point play he hit the other day and one of the miraculous plays in one game. He's actually not playing this season like he played last year. I don't know what the problem is. I haven't kept up with it enough. Yeah, but he with the outrageous assists, like 15 and 20 assists, not even close this year.
Yeah, he looked like Reggie Miller the other night.
Yeah, he got that 4-point play, won the game. Yeah.
I thought you were going to take a shot at Reggie Miller. That's why I served it up.
Oh, no. Man, I already know your games and shenanigans. Come on.
I was waiting for you to say, Cheryl Miller's much better than him anyway. So,
well, he claims she was.
I don't think too many people would argue against that.
Yeah, he said she used to pick on him. But it was,
I trust in you guys when it comes
I
to
mean,
women's basketball.
when Reggie tells the story of when he scored, I don't know, I think it was 45 or 50 in high school, and then they picked up Cheryl from her game, and he was like, I scored 45 or 50, and she was like, oh, that's a nice game. How many did you score? She said 70. So he
but
just
she
got
had a
rid.
100-point game before. She had a 100-point game
He was
before
also
too.
not playing against men.
Yeah, that's true because she was a man, but she was a good-looking man back then. She had
You
the nice
guys are
eyes.
always talking about Angel Reese. I got a McDonald's cup with her name on it.
Oh man, I can't
Reese.
believe you put that on camera.
Not for real. Come on, man. You could have kept that to
I
yourself.
figured to fire you guys up. So.
I think we already talked about it, but you know how hilarious is it that she's working with Lisa Leslie last weekend on her layups and whatnot, and then she goes out there and she's hitting the bottom of the backboard. She's hitting it.
Yep.
She's throwing it over the rim from one side to the other. I'm like, Lisa Leslie got to be at home talking about what a waste of my time.
Making her look bad. That's exactly what it does. It makes these lists look bad doing that nonsense.
Hey, Reese has got her McDonald's commercials. I see her on it all the time, man. She's banking.
Yeah. It looks like somebody force-fed somebody that nonsense. You can't take her off now what you put her on. And now she thinks she has a plug for the same nonsense that they need to get paid more, even though they're still at a complete $40 million deficit as a league while being subsidized. She's talking about getting a pay raise. Shit, if they did.
Oh, and more bad news for Angel Reese. The Sky moved the Fever games to the United Center because there's such a demand for tickets, and there's no way she can say that's me, because if your other games are moved to the United Center, you know it's Caitlin.
She's going to still say it anyway because her ego and her delusion is that high. She'll say it anyway because that's just what she does. Anything that requires attention, she's on the other end of it looking for that attention, except for the attention she should get for that bad play.
So Bias and I talked earlier about what a great state for basketball North Carolina is, but talking about the Pacers has got me thinking about Indiana as a state for basketball.
There are always, I think, some key states where you get your basketball players, and there are some that are true basketball states. New York, obviously, and then you look at Illinois, but Chicago in particular. But I think Indiana, Kentucky, and North Carolina, those are those states that are just pure basketball.
Well, let me just say this. Indiana went to the class system for the tournament, I don't know, like 20, 25 years ago or so. And nobody liked it. And we thought maybe they'd go back, but no. And it totally ruined. It used to be called Hoosier Hysteria. Nobody talks about Hoosier Hysteria anymore.
No more Bobby Knight.
Well, no, but
the high school system, right?
The high school tournament was called Hoosier Hysteria.
See,
because it was just a round robin of all the schools throughout the state, and once in a while, a school with 800 kids in it would beat a school with 5,000 kids. That's why it's called Hoosier Hysteria.
Right,
yeah,
like the small school.
I just see that because those small schools are basketball factories anyway. They got like 200 people that go to the school just to validate it being a school, but then they have those superstars on the basketball team, like Montefiore here in Florida, well, down in Florida.
Arlington Country Day.
Arlington Country Day was exactly like that. Providence is kind of like that, but not anymore. But in fact, they're not even playing as well as they used to play.
Speaking of which, Oklahoma, Lou Dort played for 1 year at Arlington Country Day.
Arlington Country Day. And what's the coach name? It was Rex, right?
Rex Morgan.
Rex Morgan. Yeah, he passed away. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it a while ago, but I didn't know.
After he passed away, no more Arlington Country Day.
Yeah, it's a damn daycare now. I passed by it often when I'm running route. I see it. There's a daycare.
Basketball factory masquerading as a school.
And they got rid of that one Dixie over there, and Alvin Brown, as you probably know, lives back that way. The old mayor of Jacksonville.
Yep.
So, I was talking to his wife.
Front court of Indiana. Pascal Siakam, great scorer. Miles Turner, more of a defensive player. How do they fare, in the playoffs?
Indiana.
Pacers as a
Yeah.
whole, or those players?
Well, the front court. I mean, they got Halliburton in the back court.
Right.
Yeah,
I
he
don't
runs everything.
other than Giannis, what other dominant big man is there in the East?
No one. No one.
You know, Embiid's hurt and Philly
Holmgren.
sucks. So
Hartenstein.
hey, I did see Horford lock up Luka a couple times.
Yeah, yeah. Our Horford's pulling something out of the old Gator bag.
He's timeless, baby. Timeless. Timeless out.
You know,
Is he the only one remaining for that Gator team?
He's the only. Yeah, he's for a few years. He's been the only one.
Yep.
I thought after leaving Toronto, Siakam was really going to take a step up. You know, he's a really good player, but he hasn't taken the step up that I expected.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, I haven't paid too much attention to what's going on there, but apparently he's not playing the same way. Is he playing for playing for Indiana? It's still going to be Halliburton's team.
Yeah, I don't think they're deep enough versus like the Celtics and the other teams in the East.
How many deep teams are there really anyway? I mean, there aren't that many deep teams. You have your front guys, and that's about it. The teams that have depth, like Cleveland has depth, and the Celtics have depth. Those are the top-heavy teams. Milwaukee doesn't have any depth. Miami's just another team. The Knicks have some depth, surprisingly. That's probably why they're just hanging in the balance, hanging in the mix at least. The Lakers don't have any, balance. Don't have the.
Does Cleveland have any depth?
I think they got depth.
Hey, what's the deal with Kuminga and Golden State? Like, whenever I see highlights, I don't ever see Kuminga. Is he coming back?
That's the depth.
Because the thing about Golden State, they have to play small ball, and I think they need Kuminga. He can be a big-time X factor, as athletic as he is, and he can hit threes. If he gets hot, that takes pressure off of Steph, and Steph doesn't have to drop 10 threes for them to win.
Oh, yeah. I sent you that message the other day about, I think it was yesterday, about Steph versus Larry Bird, different positions and so forth, but in terms of their greatness. Andre says that he thinks he's a basketball expert. He's saying that Steph is better than Larry Bird. Nah. Even with, look, if Larry Bird was playing today and taking as many threes as Steph,
if Steph can play left-handed an entire game and drop 30, then I'll be willing to talk about it. But right now, it's Bird. And I love Steph. I mean, Steph's my favorite current player, but I'm not gonna say he's better than Bird.
That's what I'm saying. I think people, the more time goes by, the more people forget Larry Bird and how freaking great he was, and the thing that he was able to do, the stories you hear from other legendary players.
Now, if Steph does something to get another title this year and gets another Finals MVP, I probably would have to really think about it. But at the moment, it's Bird hands down.
Now, if they did win a championship, do you take into consideration the way things are now in the NBA, the way they play, the style of play? Does that matter, or just the hard work and getting it done?
I doesn't matter. It would only matter if you're comparing them to a team from 25 years ago or longer. Doesn't matter now. Not as a detraction, because like nobody's picking the Warriors to go to the finals or win the finals. If the Warriors win, that would be really something. And for anybody to throw shade at them for any reason would just be asinine, in my opinion.
And he would have to be the reason why they win, though. I mean, he has been the reason, but he's also been
looking at the roster. Yeah, he would have to be the guy.
Yeah, but he also hasn't played well in the finals. Throughout his career, he hasn't been throwing up those 38-point games or 40-point games.
Did he have to? I mean, when he had Clay and KD,
I know, but it's a lot different in the playoffs compared to what he was doing in the regular season. the discrepancy in points is so much that when he doesn't score that much in the playoffs, people think about it even when he wins. They think about, damn, he didn't score as much as he did in the regular season or even in other playoff games. In the finals, he just isn't getting it. He's getting the MVP because he's making the clutch play when he needs to. But I think
maybe, but Andre Iguodala should give him his MVP because Iggy did not deserve that MVP, the first one.
I forgot about him, man. I forgot about him.
One condition. You give Iguodala that slam dunk trophy he deserved, and I'll go with you. I've never seen anything like that. That Allen Iverson threw and they defied the laws of physics with that one. I still haven't seen anything since then that impressive.
Yeah, Iggy before he got to Golden State was a hell of a athlete. He was a little bit older by the time he got to Oakland, but yeah, he's in his younger days, man. Iggy could fly.
Yeah, once he had Arizona State, because he was a freaking beast in the Pac-10. That's back when it was the Pac-10. Yeah, he was. Man, that's when he could do his athleticism through the charts. Man, so I think I'm gonna have to go now because now this doggone charger on this panel isn't working right now. I don't know why it's not charging my doggone phone. And I'm watching reruns of the Golden Girls.
Since you guys drug us back down to the West, how about the Timberwolves? Any noise out of them coming?
I think once Cat left, the noise left because Anthony Edwards still acting like he can't do things without a star player.
Well, they've still got Roy. They've still got Gobert on defense, and then they've got Jules, who's a good front court player, if not a center. Jules Randle.
Now, who did they get in that trade again? Oh, they got Randle.
Jules Randle and DiVincenzo, which gives them a little bit.
That's the thing about Anthony Edwards. He's reaching out to Jordan, asking for advice how to attack double teams. Let Randle facilitate the offense. You move around, let Randle facilitate the offense, and then you don't have to worry about beating double teams.
Yeah, and he's got to remember, in addition to DiVincenzo, he's also got Mike Conley there. So he's got, Conley's a little older, but he's a great facilitator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't he come from Milwaukee?
Who won last night? I couldn't stay up to watch it all. T-Wolves in Denver.
I don't even know. I couldn't catch anything. I was on my way down to the airport at 1 a.m. I hadn't slept since Tuesday. So I was at the airport, going down to the airport since 1 a.m. and got here in time to Orlando. Couldn't even catch a game, check the scores.
It looks like Minnesota won by 20 points.
20? Wow.
Yeah. 95 to 115.
Well, I'm glad I didn't stay up. I would have been disappointed.
I know, right? It was like a blowout. What's up with Denver, man? They make their asses kicked when they lose games. They lose big sometimes.
Yeah, it seems like the kid from Orlando has been out for a while with them. Aaron, is it Gordon? Something like that?
Oh, come on, Aaron Gordon. He should have gotten up. Isn't he gone anyways? He's still there? I thought he was gone.
He's still in Denver.
Oh, I didn't know that. Because he was in with the Magic when I went down there and did the interview when Mo Bamba's rookie year. And we was doing that media day down there. And I was looking at all those players, and I was like, damn. And Vucevic was there. That dude's like an oak tree. I bumped into him on purpose, just playing around. That dude's built like a freaking rock. And I was like, damn, LeBron dominates this guy?
You get so fixated on these New York guys, you totally ignored Jonathan Isaac. Of course, he was probably injured at the time.
Lord Freeze, that's Trav, not Andre in the shadows. Welcome to the show.
This dude thinks it's Andre in the shadows again.
But
Lord
Freeze giving you a shout out, Scott.
What's that?
Lord Freeze giving you a shout out, saying welcome to the channel.
Oh, thank you.
He must have missed you the other time.
Very much.
Lord Freeze must need some advice on his fantasy team.
I could use it. About to not be in the playoffs.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All this work, you can't even get in the playoffs?
I know. Usually I do like 2 or 3 teams. I should have spread myself a little more thin.
But what about this NCAA tournament coming up?
Yeah, Gators gonna, we'll see. By the way, Brad, you may not know what happened today with Duke.
What happened?
Cooper Flagg injured his ankle, and another guy on their team, I think it's Malik Brown, got injured as well.
That's why we watched the games, because of Cooper Flagg. He's going to be the number 1 pick overall.
Yeah, I don't know how bad it is.
He better suck it and play.
Yeah.
Broken.
Lord Freeze says that man blended with the darkness. He know he got to be evil 100%.
So it's dark.
I said earlier, I feel like there should be Darth Vader's theme music playing.
There we go.
See, I got no control over his airplane. I try to do, but it's over by the window. I'm in the aisle.
The SEC, I think, is where the action at. So you've got Auburn, you've got Tennessee, you've got Florida, you've got Alabama. All those are
that's why I think
top 10
this is such a flukish NCAA tournament. You've got teams that would never be in that position, even though every now and then Auburn does well. You would never have Alabama and Auburn at one point number 1 and 2. Never. That's football, not basketball.
Yeah,
and even now,
a 20 or 30 year SEC, quality basketball.
And Arkansas isn't playing well, but then they beat Missouri. I don't know how the hell that happens.
Well, they've got Calipari now, right?
Shout out my Calipari. Yo, you already know how I feel about that club.
Good.
And how about the West Coast? Yeah, okay, up there in Massachusetts, but Marcus can't be yet. But what was it? St. Mary beats Gonzaga, who isn't even ranked. Gonzaga's not even ranked. No one's even talking about them anymore. So it's usually just 3 teams there: Gonzaga, San Francisco, and St. Mary. And now St. Mary's cleaning up.
So Scott, Lord Freeze wants you to share some of your light you have with Trav.
Shine a light on you. Shine a light on you.
West Coast. What about Juju Watkins and USC?
Oh my God!
I'm hearing stories about her because I haven't watched it, so I'm just hearing more stories about her. Her overall game. Well, she's a bigger woman, so she's going to do that post up. She's better than Angel Reese. But in terms of overall game, being a field general, her position doesn't allow her to do that. She's not a point guard who usually gets the moniker of field general.
Yeah, but she gets buckets.
So she gets buckets. She's like Kevin Durant of the women's basketball. I have a friend of mine, I think I told you, he says that she's the best female basketball on the planet right now, college or pro.
Oh, yeah, you did say that. Yeah, I can't agree with that.
I haven't seen enough to even think that, but the way the media's reacting, I don't think that's true either. Because at least with Caitlin,
she's really, 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 really good. She's not the best at the moment, though.
That's what I'm thinking. But before you know it, that WNBA is going to be back full swing. And I just mentioned the other day how Caitlin Clark's arms are looking a little bigger these days.
I can't wait to not watch women's basketball this year.
Yeah, I forget what it was that triggered me, but I told Trav I'm done. I'm not watching.
Good. You and me too. We'll let Trav take
why, I forgot what it was. Was it the way they were coaching in Indiana or something else?
Trav can take up full-time duty on.
It might have been the playoffs. I don't remember.
I'm gonna take my Caitlin Clark jersey and go home.
She had a teammate who was dating a girl on the other team and was.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I don't know, coach.
Somebody Caitlin Clark's team.
Is that one from Russia still in the league?
Drago?
No, Drago. No, I must break you. No, the one who got arrested in Russia.
Oh,
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, she's in the league.
She came back.
Yeah, but she just isn't what I thought she'd be. When she came into the league, I thought if there ever were, even for a publicity stunt, there would be someone that would get an opportunity in the NBA as even a 15th player. It would have been her. And even though she's played great for them on the WNBA level, she hasn't been that transcendent player I thought she would be.
Oh, well. I don't know. You got anything else, Scott?
Well, Trav didn't hear this, and I know he's concerned about the Gators. So the Gators play tomorrow against the winner of Missouri and Mississippi State, and the Gators lost earlier this year to Missouri. So should be, that's the quarterfinal.
They're not losing this time. They're not losing this time. Not the Missouri. The same Missouri that lost to Arkansas.
And it was just one game.
Yeah, exactly. That was a one-off. But I don't trust any of these teams now, and I'm just watching because of Cooper Flag. If he's hurt and he can't play, it takes away from a lot.
It'll be interesting. My guess is, and I'm no doctor, but my guess is maybe he doesn't make it back for the ACC tournament, but probably for the big dance he comes back, which would be good. If the Gators win it all, I want them to beat Duke with him at 100%.
And by the way, have you kept up with Mikey Williams, that player who played, so hyped up years ago in college out in San Diego? He ended up getting in that trouble, almost went to prison. But anyway, he went with Penny Hardaway first, but then he left Memphis to go to UCF. And he's averaging like 5 points a game. He's like LeBron, like Bronny. So he should go to the NBA this year. That guy was not good.
Did you say UCF?
Yeah, he's at UCF. UCF. I don't know where.
That's where Taco Fall went.
Yeah. I was going to go catch a game, man.
Played for the Celtics.
Yep. He played for the Celtics, man.
They love Taco. He was too slow, too big, too slow. Like Oliver
he's playing in China now. He's also, he's a brilliant dude. His little brother's like already 6.
He's going to play somewhere.
His little brother's like 6'9" when he was like in 8th grade or something.
Just to answer Lord Freeze's question, is Caitlin Clark the Kobe of women's basketball? She got a lot of work to do to get to that level, bud.
She's starting off on the right foot, though, because she's already the face of the WNBA, regardless whether they want to believe it or not.
But is that saying much? There was no face before.
McDonald's begged her.
They've been trying to make faces. Lisa Lesbian was trying to be a face of them years ago. They were talking about her being a model. If she's a model, get the hell out of here. But
who's a model?
They was talking about Lisa Leslie. Oh. She's supposed to have been the show Swoops. Only Candace Parker at one point was supposed to have been a savior. It's always the next person up.
She looks better than Rebecca. She looks better than Rebecca Lobo. I'll say that.
I rock with Rebecca Lobo, the first pick overall.
It's not that kind of show, Scott. Not that kind of show. No, I'm just playing. I mean, hey, take your shot if you want.
All right, man. That'll be it for me.
I defer to you guys when it comes to women's basketball. Maybe I'll get into it someday, but there's enough good men's basketball for me.
And we defer to you when it comes to losing fantasy football or fantasy basketball. Either or.
I'll probably pull through for you this year.
Yeah, Trav is on an airplane. He's traveling Trav today.
Yeah, right. Shoot, man. I have looked at the
transnational Trav.
Yeah, I've been on the plane now for 7 hours, so I got like about 5 more hours to go.
So you're going somewhere in the Middle East, right? Is it Oman?
Yeah, no. Well, to get a connecting flight, I'm going to Qatar.
Qatar.
And from Qatar, we're going to Bangkok. So that's another 6 hours from there. So, bro,
don't forget to give Pui the roadie lady my regards.
You know what? I'm glad you reminded me, man. See if you can try to find that chick. I'm only going to be in Bangkok for 1 day, and then I'm flying up to a small village. Bro, I'm going to get blood clots like freaking Heavy D flying so much.
Man.
The overweight lover, baby. Heavy D.
All right, man.
All right, well, I guess that wraps it up for today. Scott, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
If you want to come on Monday again, we'll send you the link. Have a good weekend. Peace.
Peace out.
Out. Stay there.